travel support.
Para español, oprima 9.
Hi. Yeah, I just got my iPhone 12 Pro Max. I think you guys accidentally sent me an iPad mini. Okay, so all jokes aside, the phone is pretty big, but it's actually very nice that way. I do have an unboxing video if you want to see it. I'll put the link to that in the description. But it definitely comes across, first impressions, as being big and heavy and squared off. And for the size of the phone, I really don't think that's a bad thing because it's actually easier to hold it. You're not going to drop it. It's easier to pick it up. So if you're okay with toting it around and it being a little heavier, it's better the way that it is. I really liked the 4 and the design, so it's kind of neat to see this upgraded version. And the cameras are impressive, which is one of the main reasons I went with the iPhone 12 Pro Max. One of the things that's impressing me the most is the low light and night settings. I can't believe how well this phone does in low light. It looks like it really does in real person instead of the whole screen just being black as the older phones do. The camera captures the real way things look. The colors are spot on to real life. You don't have to be trying to manipulate the camera to make it look the way that it should. So you just point and shoot, and the stability is very good on this phone. Even walking, it doesn't bump up and down, and just panning left and right. The stability is huge, and a huge improvement on the 12 Pro Max. All the colors look great, as I've said before, especially yellow. I have a screaming yellow color car. That's the color code, and it comes up perfect. It's really hard to get yellow on a camera, and this camera does it perfectly along with all the other colors. One thing I really want to mention is the phone thing here. I'm all about the cameras and everything. That's why I went with the Pro Max. The iPhone 12 Pro Max is because I wanted all the upgrades in the camera with the bigger sensors and better stability, all that. The only thing is, see how much that it sticks out on the top? I am afraid to set this thing down because, as you see, it's not stable. I don't want to scratch it. Okay. And so it's something a case will definitely fix. Once you have a case that will kind of go out farther than that, that's okay. And I almost wish this was recessed in rather than sticking out for that reason, because these cameras are really important and I don't want to be putting it down and scratching them up. So I have towels and all kinds of stuff that I'm using right now. So that's definitely something that I wanted to bring up. And then on top I am completely blown away with the zoom quality, the up-close pictures that you can take on this. Okay, you can see how close you can zoom in here optically, and then go even farther up to 7x digitally and get just the most interesting close detail. I'm just blown away with how close and how good of quality it is. You can see, you can use it as a magnifying glass. Now, if you want to be the favorite parent, make sure you're the one with the Pro Max. My daughter loves it. It's so big. She's going to definitely want this phone over the other ones. And so you can just see how small her little hands are. It's almost like giving her an iPad. So you do want to limit screen time with the children, of course, and make sure that they're not going too crazy. But as far as children enjoying the phone, it's a big plus. Okay, one of the biggest tests, which sounds stupid, but I love these shorts, and they have a pocket right on the cargo pocket for the phone. So, does it still fit? It does. It at least fits width-wise. It sticks out a little bit higher now, but I'm so glad that it still fits in there. That was like a huge thing for me for this phone. I always carry my phone right here, and so it's not in my front pocket and anything like that, but it still at least fits. And speaking of front pocket, remember, you have a magnet now on the phone, so you want to be careful that you don't erase any credit cards or room keys or anything like that. I also have heard people say that the magnet will not interfere with pacemakers. It should not, so that's something you might want to look into if you do have a pacemaker, especially if you have a polo pocket where you're going to be putting the phone right over your heart. Okay, here we are in the Denali. Let's see if the wireless charging works with this phone or not. It barely fits between there, but it doesn't look like it's going to work with this one. It's probably, this is a 2015. It's probably too old. Okay, here's something I really like about this new phone is this is when you go to take a video, you're always zoomed in. It has 0.5 zoom, so you can actually zoom out and see and show things a lot better. So that angle is very helpful. It kind of gives you the bubbleized effect here, kind of as it spreads things out. This display is so much nicer to look at. Okay, it's night and day. It's the difference between, you know, the 4 and the 6. You know, I mean, this display is okay, but you know, just looking at it, as soon as you see it, it's just a beautiful picture. The colors are more vibrant. Everything is great about it. So very happy with the display. Something else that sticks out is how much of the screen is being used. Okay, so like on the 4, if you look at the 4, as small of a phone as this was, and it's probably dead now, you're only using from here to here. Okay, so it's actually smaller screen than the phone is that you're holding. It's already a small phone. This, it's nice to have all of this real estate, everything, basically every part of the phone you're actually using now, and so I like that. And I'm sure if you count the rows and everything, it has probably more apps and everything like that. The speed of the phone, I'm ready to look at here. I mean, going into this, I'm gonna have to sign into everything again, but as soon as you hit it, it seems pretty responsive, and so we'll go over that a little bit once I sign into it. So I just spent the night walking around with the new iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I was interested to see with its bigger size if it was going to get in the way, and if it was how it was going to be on a daily basis. And so honestly, I didn't really care much about the size difference. It didn't bother me walking around with it in my pocket. When I went to sit down at a restaurant, it didn't, I was thinking it would be jabbing me in the side or something, but it was actually just fine, not even that noticeable. Of everything, the camera just amazed me the most. We went out towards the evening, and I took some night shots, and I'll show you some of the comparisons between my wife's 10R and also my older 6, and I expected the 6 not to be as good, of course, because it's an older phone. But it was amazing, the difference, and the screen quality is so much better on the 12 Pro Max, and I mean, just everything about it. It reminded me of when I went from my 4 to my 6. So my iPhone 4, you know, was so small. It made the 6 seem like it was just this giant thing. And now it's kind of the same thing going from the 6 to the Pro Max, the 12. It's unbelievable how much bigger it is, but I enjoy using it every time I do. And so I don't feel that it's really too big. I'm probably just going to be spoiled using it from now on compared to other phones. And so I'm just very happy with the quality of it, and it's to be expected being that it's several years difference. But I really like the depth of the colors especially, and it's just hard to believe a lot of the differences that they've made to make it so much better. So if you're considering upgrading, anything from a 10 for sure, you know, at a 10 or lower. My wife's 10R, the night quality and everything was night and day difference. I'll show you some clips. If you have the 11 or the 11 Pro, 11 Pro Max, I don't know exactly how much difference it'll make because I haven't seen those ones in person. But the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max are a huge advantage to have right now. And so if you're thinking about upgrading, you won't be disappointed. Okay, it is definitely a bigger phone, but it is nicer. It's definitely, I'm happy with the size. I can see things a little bit better. See the way I'm holding this now? Being the iPhone 12 Pro Max, basically the biggest phone that you can get for the Apple, this is how you're going to end up holding it from now on. At least this is how I am. And in a way, that's actually kind of good because now you have two thumbs. In the past, I would hold my other phones, and this is much smaller. Of course, this is an iTouch 4. But my 6 even, I would kind of hold like this. I would stabilize one finger in the back of the case because that right where that Apple logo is it was an OtterBox, so I had a hole. So I'd kind of hold it like this, and I'm using one thumb basically to do everything. When I got to reach to the top, I could reach all the way. This one, okay, so this one's big enough now. It's going to be kind of hard, and if you're holding it with 2 hands, you're going to be able to reach from the bottom to the top. But one-handed, good luck. It's going to teeter-totter, and that's not a good feeling with such an expensive phone. You don't want to try really doing this one-handed. So a lot of the one-handed stuff's probably going to go out the window for you. You're going to find yourself sitting like this a lot. And yeah, so basically that's going to be kind of the difference of main things. So first impressions, number 1 was bigger is better. Let me show you. This is my iPhone 4. Okay, when I went from my 4 to my 6, it was like, wow, the 6 is huge, and I liked it better. Okay, I definitely, I was like, wow, this iPhone 6 is huge, but it's better for sure. And that's the same thing I get with this one. But I really just like it. I like the size of it. I think it's fine. It's going to be a little harder to tote around. I do like that it's squared off. It's easier to hold on to. And that's important because I don't want to drop this. And that's, one of the other first impressions, of course, is don't drop it. And that's kind of a given with anything. And the 6 actually was so thin, I was afraid I was going to drop it, where this one is actually thick enough. I'm not really afraid that I'm going to drop it, but I'm afraid to drop it because of what it is, of course. Anyway, this thing felt so thin, I felt like I was going to drop it. It's actually a little harder to hold than the other phones. So this one has, of course, the button on the bottom, the home screen button, so that's completely different. But what I wanted to show you, and we can go back to regular zoom probably for this one, but I'm going to show you how slow this phone was going for me now. And something I cannot tell you how much I appreciate is see how fast you can move on this phone. This is in the photos. If you need to search for a photo, it's not lagging. So basically, let's say that look at this. I hit the app. Look how long it takes for it to come up. And let's just go into one of the groups here. See how long it's taking? I have people message me all the time. These are all messages here from people asking car questions. You can see the list goes on and on. First of all, the phone's not even keeping up, you can see. But these are all questions that I get. See how long it takes? Okay. But I'll be doing this a lot. Okay, so I'll click on it and, answer a question, have to go into YouTube, type in, whatever it is, Danny Johnson, and let's just talk about the supercharger install video. Okay, so here it is, and I'll, copy that and link it, same thing. But you can see how long this takes and how frustrating it is. Okay, I finally copied that link. And come back over here, go back into Messenger, and, paste that video. And then just, hey, this is, basically, this is what to do, watch the video this time. But anyway, I just wanted to show how slow this thing is going. The new phone, the 12 Pro Max, is so fast. It processes so fast. There's no delay in typing. You're not waiting for it to catch up. As you scroll, everything loads instantly. It's just night and day difference, which is going to save me a lot of time and definitely not annoy me as much. So for those who do kind of the same thing, I think you'll really appreciate it. Okay, this phone is so much faster, and part of it just being new and not having an update. Here's my wife, text comes right up. Your text just came through. Your email. Okay, we'll fix it later. Okay, but I can type so fast and respond to this. Are you sure you like the side? Of course. So see how fast it can go. I mean, it's amazing. I just can't believe how fast everything opens up now. I'm so used to it. was it? 6.7 inch. So this phone will be a huge upgrade for you if you decide to get it, and especially if you've had an older phone like me. I usually wait a few years before I upgrade, and that way the upgrade is actually noticeable. And I think it's a great where iPhone is right now, and the 12 Pro Max is everything and more than I expected it to be. I'm really happy with it, and I'm going to be able to make really good videos with a lot better clarity. I'm going to be able to actually videotape things that I've wanted to. On my old phone, I would just start to videotape something and then delete it because there was no point. You couldn't even see anything. And this one is just amazing in low light and catches all the colors. And if you're doing any YouTube stuff, or just want really good family pictures or whatever it is, this phone's going to do a great job for you. So I'm really impressed, and I'm really enjoying the phone. If you have any questions that I haven't covered, then let me know. The battery life seems to be holding up really well. Despite being a bigger phone, it has a bigger battery, and so it will actually last longer than some of the smaller ones. So anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos that are coming, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.